We are also on Weibo. Please check us out for more great videos.
Summer flicks don't always hit it out of the park, but when they do, it is movie magic in its purest form. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 best summer blockbusters. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're taking a look at the greatest movies ever released during the summer season. We've based our selections on how popular a film was upon release, as well as how well it holds up. Number 10. Back to the Future. Reigning as the #1 box office champ for 11 weeks, this time travel classic became 1985's highest-grossing film. Gaining attention largely from positive word of mouth, Back to the Future had something for everyone. The Oscar-nominated screenplay is heavy on memorable one-liners, but more importantly, has a well-plotted story to back it up.
If you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
At this tale's heart is a touching romance between Marty McFly's parents, as well as a meaningful friendship between Marty and Doc Brown. It's our investment in these characters that makes the action so heart-pounding, amounting to one of the finest climaxes in summer blockbuster history. No matter the season, this film will always be timeless.
Whoa, this is heavy.
Number 9. Independence Day.
Welcome to Earth.
A year before Men in Black packed theaters, Will Smith solidified himself as the king of summer blockbusters with Independence Day. Released on the heels of a gripping ad campaign, Independence Day blew up the White House and then the box office when it hit theaters. Of all the explosive disaster flicks we got in the late 90s, this was by far the most enjoyable, complete with stunning action set pieces, cool aliens, and memorable dialogue, including President Whitmore's epic speech in particular. Much like a fireworks show, this movie will get anybody pumped for the 4th of July.
Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Number 8. Mad Max Fury Road.
You want to get through this? Do as I say.
This non-stop thriller wasn't actually the summer's highest-grossing movie in 2015. When all was said and done, however, it was by far the MVP, setting a new standard for big-budget blockbusters. Mediocre! In an era when popcorn flicks are often bogged down with complicated plots and meandering dialogue, director George Miller stripped out all the unnecessary excess, instead putting emphasis on what audiences paid for: action.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Instead of the CGI creatures and sky beams we're used to seeing, though, Miller loads his film with inventive stunt work, imaginative production values, and possibly the greatest vehicle chase ever. At the center of everything are characters who seem simple on the surface, but underneath are much more.
If I'm gonna die historic on the Fury Road.
Number 7. Terminator 2: Judgment Day.
Come with me if you want to live.
Throughout the late 80s and early 90s, few directors dominated summer quite like James Cameron. His movies were not only smartly constructed and visually impressive, but also treated the audience like adults, often receiving an R rating. Terminator 2 is Cameron at the height of his phenomenal run of blockbusters. The action remains some of the best ever put on film, combining unbelievable stunts with revolutionary CGI effects. Above all else, the film keeps us invested, with a genuine sense of doom and deep themes that explore the meaning of humanity. Much like Aliens, another Cameron film, it's also a rare sequel that expands upon a story, and arguably surpasses its predecessor.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Number 6. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Steven Spielberg and George Lucas are two names embedded in the summer movie season's DNA. Likewise, the name Indiana Jones has become synonymous with adventure. With Spielberg behind the camera and Lucas contributing to the story, the filmmakers once again changed the game with Raiders. They set out to capture the nostalgic sensation of watching classic Saturday matinee serials, which made the film's summer release date all the more fitting.
Good afternoon, Dr. Jones.
I ought to kill you right now.
What started as a B-movie ended up transcending the genre that inspired it, and graduated to the A-list. Like a rolling boulder, the action in Raiders of the Lost Ark just keeps gaining momentum, without pausing a second to breathe.
Not the years, it's the mileage.
Number 5. Jurassic Park.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Steven Spielberg is legendary for good reason, and here is the summertime master again. This prehistoric adventure remains his biggest financial success. 1993 was basically the year of Jurassic Park. Audiences were hooked from the early trailers, which wisely only revealed bits and pieces of the dinosaurs Spielberg had cooked up. And viewers were not disappointed when the film finally arrived in theaters, allowing us to finally get a good look at the T-Rex and Velociraptors.
Clever girl.
A near-perfect mix of suspense and special effects. There's something about Jurassic Park that defines summer movies. To reference John Hammond, it's a film that captured the imagination of the entire planet.
Hold on to your butts.
Number 4. The Dark Knight.
Drop the gun.
The summer of 2008 had no shortage of superhero movies, although none reached the same level of popularity or quality as The Dark Knight. A follow-up to 2005's Batman Begins, director Christopher Nolan raised the bar in every department, from the action to the ideologies to the character development, most notably giving us an unparalleled depiction of the Joker.
I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you
Stranger.
With its sophisticated tone and gritty sense of realism, the film changed the entire landscape of modern cinema, in more ways than one. For anyone who felt Batman and summer movies in general were just kid stuff, The Dark Knight made them see the light, earning critical acclaim and getting the last laugh at the box office.
Why so serious?
Number 3. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Many summer flicks revolve around explosions and violence, but E.T. offers something completely different. A touching tale of friendship that functions as a quirky comedy, a family drama, and a love letter to childhood. But that unique blend also pretty much explains why E.T. captivated audiences, becoming the biggest movie at the time. As with many other Spielberg movies, the initial ads avoided showing too much of the titular alien. Once the film arrived in theaters, though, there wasn't a moviegoer on the planet who couldn't recognize E.T.
I could take care of you. I wouldn't let anybody hurt you.
With effects that never overshadowed the story, E.T. managed to inspire, enthrall, and sum up why we go to movies at all. Number 2. Jaws.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Have we mentioned Steven Spielberg yet? It's safe to assume that none of the other movies on this list would have existed if it weren't for this colossal moneymaker. Considered by many to be the first true event picture, this Spielberg film established the summer movie season as we know it.
What we are dealing with here is a perfect engine, an eating machine.
With an enormous marketing campaign and an unprecedented wide release strategy, the buzz was through the roof by the time Jaws debuted. Of course, that wouldn't have mattered if the film itself didn't leave an impression. Fortunately, Jaws was an unprecedented financial and critical hit. Even now, few summer movies can blow Jaws out of the water. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
No.
Then.
We're leaking gas?
We are now.
What, you felt you needed another challenge or something?
Number 1. Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Jaws might have given birth to the summer movie season, but Star Wars proved it was here to stay, with timeless characters, a detailed mythology, and special effects unlike anything audiences had ever seen. What made George Lucas's film all the more significant was that it was something of a surprise hit. It didn't have the biggest budget, production wasn't without setbacks, and not everybody involved was convinced the final product would be profitable. Yet, Star Wars was not only a success, it became the highest-grossing movie of the time, taking on a life of its own in popular culture. It also inspired several follow-ups that ruled the summer season, including The Empire Strikes Back.
Try not. Do. Or do not. There is no try.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.